questions have arisen, such as who is he, what is he, where did he come from, is he a creature of a foreign power, is he a creep, is he dangerous, is he smart, dumb, nice to his parents, real, put on, crazy, sane, man, woman, robot, what is this?
That was a quick glimpse of the new film, Moonage Daydream, which gives us a different look at the creativity of the late David Bowie. This film goes all in through never-before-seen footage, photos, journals, music, and different variations of the songs we're used to listening from David Bowie. Joining us today from New York is Moonage Daydream's director, Brett Morgen. Hi, Brett.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Brett. And I know that you've inherited thousands of videos, artwork, and so much music. Tell me about sifting through the entire array of things that you gathered and how difficult, if it was, to decide what goes in the film and what doesn't.
People say that David is otherworldly. That was kind of like part of his, character and persona. And I'm going to tell you, after watching every piece of known media about David Bowie for the past 2 years, I kind of arrived at a point that he's otherworldly, but not because of his costume, not because of his makeup, but because he was, I've never met anyone or seen anyone or experienced anyone who could make every moment an adventure, every moment an opportunity for growth. People would come into my office and say, what is it about Bowie? And I say, here, let me tell you something. Take this 52-card deck, throw it on the ground, it's a mess. David comes in here, throws it on the ground, it's a castle, and you go, you can't do that. Do it again, and he'll do it again. There was something absolutely mystical, and this is after seeing everything. This was the greatest opportunity in my life to be able to present in IMAX someone who I believe is not just the greatest artist of our lifetime, but possibly one of the greatest thinkers and creative forces of our lifetime.
Excellent. Was there any particular item that you could mention that definitely captivated or perhaps served as an inspiration for the continuation of the film?
I'm going to tell you, it was an interview kind of like what you and I are doing that I saw from 1987, where David sat down with a MTV journalist who had no idea who he was. And I was like, oh, God, this isn't going to go well. And I had the tape before the interview went on camera. And David sits down with her, and he starts talking about literature and about wanting to engage her about books that she had most recently read. And I realized in that moment, it's very subtle, but that he saw each moment as an opportunity for an exchange and for growth. Mm-hmm. And he took that everywhere. I was with Carlos Alomar, one of David's band leaders last night. Been with him for 40 years, one of his best friends. Carlos was telling me that they'd be hanging out in the 70s partying, and it'd be like 4 in the morning, and David would be like, let's go to the museum. And Carlos said, he would go around with a case with a trunk with like 1,000 books at all times, and between any take in the studio, he's reading, he's absorbing. This man was trying to get as much knowledge, not to arrive at some sort of nirvana, but just to make the most out of his time on this earth.
And I think you take us through this journey, particularly in the film, and a lot of people are saying that Moonage Daydream is not really a documentary. There's not a lot of talking heads. It's front and center, David Bowie, giving us a different look. So if people think they know David Bowie, they'll definitely change their mind when they see this, because it's another time of him, another era, another layer, if you will. Tell me about captivating that for the audience.
Well, I'm going to share something with you last night that there have been a lot of books written about David Bowie. There have been several documentaries about David Bowie. And it was time for David Bowie to sort of narrate his own journey. And again, last night, his closest friend came into the film, saw it, pointed to the screen and said, that's the first time I've seen the guy I knew represented. And so we're just thrilled, because I think people are going to discover the warmth, the generosity, the intelligence, and most importantly, the courage, and all wrapped in a movie that will kind of blow your mind. I know that's a kind of bold statement, but we've been traveling the world with this film for the last 4 months, and just take a look on social media and look at the reactions that people are having to this film. They're all coming out of it and going right back in to see it again, and we're just like, what is going on? But it's Bowie. And I hope that we were able to somehow capture some of that magical energy, which I think it looks like we might have.
Magical energy. It's a right way to describe it. It's a beautiful film. And I just wanted to mention that the estate of David Bowie gave you the green light to do all the production. So thank you so much, Brett, for coming to the show. And of course, we want to mention as well that Moonage Daydream is playing now on different theaters across Tampa Bay. But we want to emphasize that you may want to watch this film on IMAX.
I couldn't agree with you more. 1 week only in IMAX, then it will be everywhere else. You have 7 days to hear David Bowie like you've never heard him before. I highly recommend you take the opportunity. Whether you are a hardcore fan or someone who always was wondering, like, what the heck is the deal with David Bowie? I don't really get it. You will get it when you see the film.
Thank you so much, Brett. Once again, with Moonage Daydream, congratulations on that.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.